All right, so today we're here with Mr. David Sword and on New Mexico Desert Classics. And one of the things, our first three videos were everything was just shooting a car. And cars are cool, but quite honestly, car people are cooler. So I'm going to get out from in front of the camera and get behind the camera. And I think it's really important, especially in today's day and age, that we capture stories from our early pioneers in the car industry. And I can tell you just from having hung out with Dave a couple of times that he's got some of the coolest car stories, some of the coolest war stories, some of the coolest life stories. And I think often in today's day and age we don't do enough to capture that and relay those stories. So Dave agreed to take an hour of his time out on a Saturday morning in probably his favorite place on the planet, in the shop, and so we're just gonna have a little bit of a chat. All right, so here on New Mexico Desert Classics, we focus a lot on air-cooled, but I want to talk to you about the car that's behind you. In the back of the shots, tell us a little bit about the 52 Studebaker.
Well, the 52 Studebakers, it's a retired dragster. It has turned an 892 at 160. It's totally tubbed out. It's got a Dana 60 with 16-inch wide tires. Inboard disc brakes. Well, they're kind of inboard because the rear end's only a couple feet wide. And it's got a 2x3 rectangular tubing chassis with a full 8.5 second cage and a big block Chevrolet. Right now it's a 468 with a 250 shot of nitrous, and sitting in the shop next to us is a brand new fuel injection system that I have to put on it, so it'll make it easier to start. It's kind of a bear sometimes.
All right, so let's talk about the car to your left, the right-hand side of the screen. Tell us about the Type 181 thing you've got here.
Well, I found this thing not a mile away from where we're sitting right now on Canyon Road. It was full of rat feces, bullet holes, and rust. And I paid $1,300 for it. And I gave it to my son, who lives in Idaho, and he decided he didn't want to build it finally. So my wife wanted it, so I built it for her. And I spent the best part of 10 years on and off, mostly off, restoring it. It was a off the pan, full restoration. Every last nut and bolt is new. The car costs $2,870, brand new. It was bought in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it was a one-owner car when I bought it. And just in soft stuff like this, and the top, and all the little rubber things all around the car, I got over $4,000. And the engine is a 2,070 cc's, and I built the fuel injection system, so everything you see up here in the intake system is all hand built in my shop, and it's just made from U-bends and such, and the fuel injectors are down on the side, and I built homemade fuel rails It's been in storage for a while, so I'm having trouble tuning it, but I'll get it one of these days. And it really runs good. I don't know how many horsepower it's got. I know that in third gear, those fuel injectors, 4 of those is supposed to run like a 2300 cc Ford engine. It's the same ones that they use in the Super Coupes. And in third gear, I can run out of gas. So it does have some horsepower. And the car has turned out, I think, pretty nice. Right now it's dirty, it's filthy. But I can say this, so I built it for my wife. She never got to drive it. I did take her in it a couple times in parades down 10th Street, and she passed away before she was ever able to drive it. So
That's the connection.
So I don't really need the thing, but I have a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to part with it.
Yeah.
So,
No reason to. That's what cars often bring us, is that connection.